Hey everybody. So we are back for the final episode of season 6, the reunion part 3, Love and Marriage Huntsville. Once again, I just want to thank everybody for liking the videos, subscribing to the channel, and if you're watching this, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it, whatever you want to do. Um, I'm glad this is the last episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville because I don't think Carlos King understands that you can wear out a good thing because we're worn out with this bullshit. It's the same shit for 60 years. I can't even believe I've been watching it this long. Anyway, can I just say again, I'm gonna tell you the thing that aggravates me, that's been aggravating me recently as the TikTok trend. These fucking of course videos. Of course I'm a cheerleader. Of course I go to an HBCU. Of course that shit is so fucking annoying to me. Can y'all please just not participate? Of course I'm a black doctor. Of course I'm a lawyer. I didn't. It's so fucking lame. Please stop. I cannot believe how this trend is so corny, but it just keeps going. Anyway, that being said, okay, Betty, we pick back up with Betty and Mel. Betty, you are a demon. Okay, you are. All right, and Stormy is behind or somehow involved with this shit. You could tell she enjoys having her mother fight for her like that. Um, so Stormy then jumps in the middle of the fight and was like, and said to Mel, I like you. I really do. And Mel just started shaking her head. And I was like, yeah, I'm glad you realized that. Now, then Stormy says that the Twitter thing got out of hand. Then she goes on to say, well, you know, this stuff got tough for Tiffany. That's why she left. And it's hard when you built something to keep it. And Mel knows that because she essentially built the show. Then she says, but I don't want this to be turned into this whole situation that because our fallout is because of my mother doesn't like you. Because that's not the case. That's what she said. She gave a whole word salad of a bunch of fucking nothing with that dumbass smirk on her face, only for her mother to jump in and say, I don't like you. Bitch, if you don't get the fuck out of here with your old fucking ass. Mel was like, well, you don't have to. God bless you. Okay, let me tell you something. When somebody does that, they are so over you. When they say it like that, under those circumstances, they over you. Okay. So Mel was, tells her whatever. So Mel was like, why are you talking to me? That's an excellent question, Mel, because I don't get it. Okay. Because that's the way, actually, I do get it. It's the way to get attention on this show. And I've said that over and over again. The formula is to come on as Mel's friend and then turn on her. All right. And that's why, because Mel's that girl. And Mel was like, be an example. Yes and yes. And people can miss me with all old people. Shouldn't be putting restrictions on people as they get older or younger. This is what they need to do and not do. You are somebody's fucking mother and grandmother. Act like it, bitch. You do need to be an example. The fact that Mel can get people together on this reunion and the level of ear that people seem to have toward her and still keep it together to be an example for her kids is laudable. It really is. Okay, because it's hard to keep your fucking temper when so many people are coming at you. And let me just go ahead and make a note. The way Miss Betty acts, the way Demon Betty acts, don't think for a motherfucking second that she don't meet Courtney with that kind of energy. Because she strikes me as the Mama Joyce type. Just don't want nobody to really be in her daughter's life because she really don't want to see her daughter happy. That's just me. So Stormy's ghetto family business situation, I don't like Stormy. I do not. Junior apologized for taking advantage of his cousin, which was nice. At least that's what I was able to transcribe and decipher because nobody in Stormy's family can talk good English. They just can't. So they said that Carlos said they invited Aunt Lisa and she didn't come. Why would she? Let y'all make some more money off of her. She knows she didn't get paid from the show. Betty said she would want to mend it and that she tried. Bitch, I don't believe that. And yes, we saw that scene, but you already knew that was a scene. Y'all were already gonna have cameras at that fish fry. Cut it the fuck out. Your sister knows you evil, okay? And considering the way you treated Mel, I can only imagine. So then we get Chris and Nell, which we should have gotten plenty of instead of so much goddamn Tisha and Kiki. Because Chris and Nell, ain't nobody gonna sit here and tell me they did not carry the season. You're not, because I watched it. I know. When they started doing the replay up, I'm be honest, I had forgotten about this black expo they were not invited to, and all I could go was, oh, please, enough, okay, just enough. I'm over it. We see their family drama playback. Okay, whatever. All families got drama. So, you know, I got emotional when I saw the run back Fletcher when he started crying about his son. So I could tell from Carlos's interview with them, the one he did on his own YouTube channel. I remember Nell not wanting to be on the reality show, and Chris was totally okay with it. For me, why is that so hard for me to believe? I feel like it's the opposite. I would have expected Chris not to want to do it and Nell to want to do it. And he asked her why, and she was like, "You see what you play back." I think, and they start talking about the kids or whatever, and I do think a lot of parents struggle who have money with loaning money to their kids and drawing lines, and then there are kids that don't get money from their parents and become hyper independent, like me and my 4 siblings. But nevertheless, so Nell Satisha said she was invited. She was like, I don't like. It wasn't the Black Expo per se. She was like, when you tell me you're going to do something, do it. I understand that. I'm tired of hearing about it, but I understand it. So Nell, no. Tisha. So Tisha tries to act like she had no idea Nell had a business, and that town is 9 inches long. Girl, quit playing. I refuse to believe that it is that many black business owners, established black business owners, brick and mortar, in Huntsville, fucking Alabama, that you were not aware of something, particularly like a fucking daycare. You've seen her somewhere. Don't play with me. Anyway, so then for Marceau to call Fletcher sexist for not mentioning Nell's business, only his, when you stopped outside on the street when that man was doing his job, what the fuck? Fletcher is better than me, because let me tell you something. I would have stepped to Marceau's sorry misogynistic ass and smacked the shit out of him. Now, you saying you just thought his pretty wife was... That was sexist as hell any goddamn way. You should have gotten your ass whooped for that. All right? And I usually appreciate how reserved Fletcher is on the show, in that sense, that he can control his temper. But sometimes furniture gotta fucking move. Okay? And you got to get some thunderous claps, because that motherfucker needs one. Bad. He need an ass whooping. All right? And granted, Marcel tries to get people out of their character, but he needs his ass whooped. Anyway, so Carlos asked Tisha why she felt like she had to ask about the infidelity in their marriage. Do y'all know this bitch? I know y'all do because y'all watch this. Do y'all know this bitch responded by saying, in the 6 years I've been on this show, I've been very transparent. I said, what? Not this same woman denying everything that comes up with Marceau. Not this same woman that can't ever really explain all the roots of her issues with Kiki. Transparent, Tisha? Cut it out. Bitch, you have not. Anyway, and you already knew that they had infidelity in their marriage from that episode when Mel knocked that table over. Because we all know, Tisha, you be watching yourself back on TV. Like, all of y'all probably do. But I'm saying, it's especially for you, because you playing. Anyway, so then Carlos asked Nell how she found out that Fletcher was cheating. Pause. Let me tell y'all something. And it's not just because I like Chris Fletcher or anything like that. But how fucking long ago was this? Because according to the Carlos King interview, their kids were still like small school-age children. And I'm not one to make excuses for men, and I'm not. But my thing is, this gets brought up on this show way too fucking much. And I just think it's just, I don't like it. I'm just like, why do y'all keep asking about this shit? We get it. Like, they couldn't have been more transparent and honest about something that's very painful for them. And I feel like they bringing it up like it happened 3 or 4 years ago. This shit happened years ago. I understand it's painful for her. I believe her tears when I saw her in that Carlos interview and everything. And therefore, other people should too. And respect people enough to not hurt their fucking feelings. Okay? You know what you know. It was a messy ass scene. Marceau cut it off because Marceau is on some fuck shit himself. Anyway, she said somebody told her. And he was like, did the other woman tell you? She said, no woman in Huntsville would have stepped to me. I was like, okay then. Then she said she asked Fletcher and she wouldn't let her up. She backed him up into a corner until he admitted it. And all I could think was, I know all hell broke loose in that house. Child, I can only imagine. Then Carlos, tight suit, messy wearing, cheap Steve Harvey men's warehouse slash Montgomery Ward suit wearing ass asked when he cheated, was it with one woman or multiple women? Let's keep it real. It's painful either way. It's just your thinking when it happens. If it's one woman, you feel like, oh, I've completely lost him. Because he's not just sleeping with just anybody. And maybe I wasn't enough. And maybe try to compete with that one woman. And then if it's multiple women, it doesn't make you feel any better. Because you're devastated. And then you're still devastated. And you feel like everything is a lie. Because am I any different from these other ones? And what is it about me that's not fulfilling him? So, like, let's not act like this is a difference. I know people thinking is different. But the devastation is the same. And the trauma is the same for women. So she says they separated for 18 months. Okay, we get it. At this point, I feel like that goes in the category of this is their fucking business. Enough. We don't need to hear nothing about it. So she said, well, I forgave him because of love. And I believe that. And some people who have never been in love with anybody, or people who are just completely dishonest, women who are completely dishonest in particular, why are you letting him cheat on you like this? No, the question is, why does somebody stay with somebody and continue to cheat on them? Okay? Number 2, they're in love. She got up, left herself, tried to get herself together. Because let me tell you something, that kind of devastation, when you have kids, it bleeds onto everything else. Okay? They worked it out. They love each other. They forgave she forgave him. That's something they chose to do. Period. It happens. And yes, love does make you do crazy things. And let's not act like people just get up and leave at the first offense and all that shit. And I don't mean the first offense like somebody punch you in the face. Okay? I'm not talking about that. But you get what I mean. So she said she supported Martell and Mel and wanted it to work because she saw a lot of Fletcher in Martell. She was like, he was arrogant and cocky, and I think she thought because Fletcher fixed himself to make their marriage work, that Martell could do it too. But Fletcher is not a narcissist. It's one thing to be cocky and even arrogant, but to the point where you never fucking take responsibility. Fletcher doesn't cut her off when she brings that up. He sits there and he takes it. And he takes it because he knows it was his fault. That he caused that and you got to pay for it. That's the difference with maturity. Okay? And Mel jumped in and she was like, the bottom line is they were helpful and they don't take sides. And I believe that. But taking sides for Martell means anybody seeing Mel's side at all. Okay? Don't worry. You still have Marceau and Tisha's punk asses to make excuses for you. Moving on, the Houston trip. So, oh God. That was such, Houston, that was with them tired ass pilgrim hats they had on. So they asked Martell who he brought to the house. He said he didn't really know. She just came to give him a massage. I can't with that lie. And then he said she gave it to him on the bed. And Mel was like, licensed massage therapists always bring their own table. We knew he was lying, but Mel be getting him with details, okay, and facts, okay, and essentials. God damn, you're not even married to her. Like, just fucking tell the truth, son. Just stop. That's got to be exhausting to live in his head. So Nell said, Carlos asked basically the cast if they thought it was disrespectful because Martell brought the woman over. Nell said, actually very. And Fletcher parroted it and was like, yep, very. Now, clearly, Fletcher thought this shit was a joke on the show, but he don't want to get in trouble with Nell. So I don't blame him. So Kimmy says she didn't care because they elected to move on. Kimmy, you are really frustrating with me. Frustrating the hell out of me. And let me just be clear. This ain't got nothing to do with her cancer because I wish her well. It's not that kind of thing. Because, like I said, I know from personal experience how scary that is. Certainly with my mother. That being said, I just think a lot of times when Kimmy says stuff, it is to constantly take up for the men. And I just feel like when the bomb drops on you, like Martell's mistress talking about how Maurice slept with a linebacker or whatever, and it was embarrassing to you, and you think because you confronted him on TV that you've proven to all of us that you tough, but you want to tell Kiowa she didn't have no fucking integrity. And is it just me, or at this reunion, did they not mention where the fuck Monster is? How did he just disappear? Where did that boy go in the middle of the school year? I can't. Anyway, so Nell was like, he brought the other woman over on the field trip or whatever. Not field trip, whatever the hell it is. Anyway, then Mel explains that she had a massage therapist, and they were like, well, it's not a big deal. She was like, yeah, of course I had a massage therapist. Whatever, that's just something she does. And so he was like, well, where did you get yours from? And Martell was like, yeah, where did you get yours from? And she was like, but don't steal my answer. I don't know why that was funny to me. Because it just reeked of like petty kid stuff. And they seem to like revert when they're around each other. And so she tells about the Zeal app, and that's how she found hers. And then this motherfucker's like, oh, that's how I found I can't. Martell is such a fucking liar. It's insane to me that anybody could defend him even this much. So Nell called him out and didn't start asking Mel questions to interrogate her about her cheating. We all know what you did, Martell. Like, you got a whole bitch with the evidence. Like, stop. He keeps lying. He's shouting at her, at Mel, calling him a liar. He lies all the time, even about the bitch he brought to the house, and he's not even married to Mel. He says, what am I lying about? What am I lying about? Like, he didn't lie when that side bitch was pregnant to people in interviews. He didn't know. And that's all. I just can't with this bald-headed, potato head, milk dud looking motherfucker. Anyway, so Carlos asked Fletcher about the viewers, how the viewers feel like Martell disrespects his wife and he should say something more. So he says, look, I see them like brother and sister, and that's why it doesn't really bother me. It just seems like two siblings fighting. Mel interjected and was like, I've had this conversation in private with Chris, and I feel like the way Martell talks to her is totally disrespectful. I agree. Okay? And it is. And I do not like when men do not check each other about loudly disrespecting women. We don't know as the viewers. But what I am saying is that Martell should fucking know for the rest of his fucking life that if he ever raises his voice to your wife in a license to carry state, it's on and popping. That's what the fuck he should know. To the point where he don't even talk to you no more because he afraid that might happen. Get the fuck out of here. So anyway, Mel was like, regardless of what happens between her and then Fletcher and Nell, she was like, I've never done that. And she was like, you don't try not to disrespect your friend's spouse. You just don't do it. And I was like, and there we go. Okay? And there we fucking go. I actually no other explanation needed. So she said, there are elders. They've helped us. Marcel was like, elders? And, Nell was like, I'm a good looking elder. First of all, chill the fuck out. She was, first of all, defending y'all. So chill, Nell. She wasn't calling y'all old, but respecting y'all as older than them and for their help. Anyway, once again, Martell didn't apologize to Nell for raising his voice or anything else. And he does what he always does. Says both of us owe each other an apology and then doesn't give one. Anyway, Kiki and Tisha. I'm so tired of hearing and looking at these two twin cousins. I can't take it. They both agree that their relationship is dead. I don't care. Tisha gives spoiled and passive aggressive. That's what it gives me. Carlos asked her, how does y'all's family feel about y'all basically, fighting and that your relationship is over? And Tisha's like, I just talked to my uncle a couple of days ago. And he's like, y'all just need to fix it. Sit down and talk. That's what they always tell us. Okay? Then Tisha was talking shit. All this shit. But she was about to cry. And I'm sitting up here like, girl, bye. Just cut this, like, Billy badass trying to, like, we don't believe it. We don't believe it. Anyway, yeah, Tisha was talking, shit. And then I do think Tisha probably did switch up on Kiki. And I do think Kiki coming on and using her family to get on this show is true. However, Kiki gives a better show than Tisha, and I think Tisha knows it and resents her for it. Kiki's dress was just me, and I usually don't even notice things like this too hard, but I couldn't help it. Kiki's dress was given cheap. The strap had phrase, and not phrase like, oh, it's not your size phrase, like it was like from Rave or Rainbow. Anyway. Okay. So, yeah. So Martell, you got the nerve to try to call Kiki out about the other major thing in their relationship, because Marceau said there's something else. Kiki said that's a lie, and it deals with the infidelities within her marriage. She was like, and she said it doesn't just affect us. I agree. It doesn't. It affects their kids, and so therefore, whatever you bring up into too much detail will hurt the family. Honestly, mentioning the infidelity, I think, is too much for kids that are still in the house and underage. I really do. I don't believe the Marceau and Tisha's bullshit about Kiki. I don't. They lie too much. They don't ever have specifics. It's always kind of like this conjecture bullshit. Then Carlos tries to cut them off when they accused her, Kiki, of blocking their doors. And Kiki was like, no, that bothers me or whatever. He tried to talk over them. I don't like the way Tisha is fucking babied and coddled on this cast. By the producers. And it's not helping her because it only makes me dislike her more. Anyway, and how Carlos you gonna bring up that messy shit and then try to cut it off like that? Fuck you. So then they bring up that stupid fucking pregnancy test. When I say Chris and Nell carried the season, this is what the fuck I'm talking about. Is it right now? Oh, anyway. I'm over it. Marceau says that he believes that Tisha could have stepped out on him and that she's capable of cheating on him. I was just like, Tisha, why do you let him disrespect you like that? At this point, because y'all are doing it on TV. So when I say let, I'm not suggesting that when women are in relationships with an abuser or controlling person, I'm just kind of like, at this point, stop pretending like you're shocked. Marceau does this all the time. Like, it's just annoying. And it's always the same bullshit with y'all. It's stupid. And why is Kimmy always jumping in to defend these sucker-ass men? Like, come up off of it. Well, you know, he would... Just shut the fuck up. So during the break, at the end of the show, Kiki looks over at Marceau, deadlocked, and was like, you one lying bitch. Oh, shit. So Marceau goes, well, come and see me for it. Marceau, you know you fucking lying. And Tisha was like, I bet you won't cross this line. You got away with it once, but not again. I said, wait a minute. Hold up one motherfucking, wait a minute. Whatever, Jay. Anyway, got away with it. When she threw that water in your face and it took the whole production crew and cast to keep her and her husband from shutting every goddamn thing down, the same chick got away with it that showed up to Texas to see you and face you without her husband or any entourage. The same chick whose presence led you to run to a whole nother part of the house and cry about how you wanted her to leave. Tisha, you are one weak bitch. I couldn't believe her. Bitch, bye. Bye. Cut it the fuck out. And Tisha, you up there with Stormy. You were looking, and Tisha is a very pretty woman, but Tisha continues to look stuffed. Like, there are so many things that she could wear well. You know, her hair always looks good. Her skin is very, like, it's beautiful, like it glows. And I just don't understand why she insists on wearing things that are just not fitting. Like, it's like Stormy always looks stuffed. But Stormy looks stuffed inside her clothes and her skin, like her physical skin. I just don't understand why she's always trying to do that. Just wear, I know what it is to be overweight. I'm a big girl myself. I'm just saying, it just doesn't seem like it's worth it. And I'm just not here for it. Anyway, I'm glad the season is over. Please be sure, once again, to like the video, subscribe to the channel, put down what you think in the comments, and y'all have a great week, and I'll see y'all tomorrow for Potomac.